Bianca, and today we are turning items nobody wants into clothes everybody wants but can't have because they didn't see the beauty in it to begin with. A very Princess Diaries metaphor. So my quest for this video started with the fact that I've always DIY'd thrifted items or any clothes or anything that I've ever bought, but I didn't know anybody liked to watch them until I unlocked this whole new level of YouTube. Thrift flipping. And lately I've been feeling a little bit wild and searching for the craziest different kinds of outfits that I usually would never wear. This is like my very typical black, neutral, I'm from New York City, I literally only wear black and I don't know why. But I've been on Pinterest a lot and I've discovered all of these different patterns and different styles, and I kind of wanted to get down and dirty with that. Specifically this hot pink Barbie girl Pinterest viral vibe sort of situation. So I guess this is where the thrift flip begins. I've tested my luck trying to find any satin skirt or dress in Goodwill, Salvation Army, or any funky Brooklyn thrift shops, but really only struck gold in the fabric section of Hobby Lobby. Now, I was torn between that actual pink color I originally saw on Pinterest and this what the fuck I vibe with periwinkle now color. So in an attempt to rock my world, I got periwinkle. The fabric was originally $4.99, but it was half off, so it came out to $2.99, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think the lady just didn't know how to do math. Or clearly, I just don't know how to read signs. It was 40% off, everybody. To my indecisive surprise, I was able to get both fabrics because, again, they were half off, allegedly. Or again, you're just a dumbass who doesn't know how to read a 40% off sign. Now, the hardest part about finding that perfect color to match these crazy, wild, exuberant colors in a thrift shop, and whether it be a top, a corset, a sweater, is I probably won't find it. But I tested my luck in Monk and Crossroads, and I ended up finding these two pieces instead. This green Forever 21 sweater with slight pulls in it, but I don't really care because it was only $1. It was an impulse buy because, you know, it was $1. This Silence and Noise buckle bralette thing came out to $7.69, and I felt it was pricey, but mainly because you saw how much everything else in this video cost already. You know, between the sweater being $1 and the fabric being $2.99, $7.69 was kind of a stretch. But we got it anyway because look how damn cute it is. Now, I don't think I'm using those two pieces to make this outfit that I've envisioned in my head from Pinterest, but we like them anyway, and I figured I'd show you a mini haul in between this thrift flip of a video. Alrighty, so here is the fun part for you, but the annoying part for me. I genuinely love creating stuff, but I don't have a designated area for my machine, supplies, and well, everything else you see. So setting up takes the fun out of crafting, but let's begin before I sound more irritating than I already am. So I decided for this video to only work with the pink fabric, mainly because I feel like I keep anticipating working with the pink fabric, so here we go. I've realized I didn't have any muslin, which is a pattern making material to use on this dress form, so I tried to, you know, kind of diddle daddle into using the actual fabric, and we lost a few pins along the way, so patting them out real quick and getting back to kind of faking it till we make it. I absolutely know how to pattern make, but when you're using the fabric that you're going to sew with, it gets a little tricky because you're not going to cut it up and make it all crazy because it's only your one fabric that you have. I only bought a yard of it, so we're going to do as we do and kind of make sure we get this thing right. Now, this was essentially the plan for the dress, minus the slit, because obviously we didn't cut that yet, with a little dart, all cute, until I realized after this clip, I did not buy a zipper for this, so there would be absolutely no way to fit me in this dress. I only bought a zipper for the periwinkle fabric, but that's okay, because we're going to flip it around and use elastic anyway. I'm kind of just measuring out to see the waistline. So here's me kind of cheating, but also being sort of a genius and folding over 1.5 inches for the waistline and pinning it, since instead of sewing straight tight across with darts, we will be putting in elastic for a stretchier waist, so you know, our ass can fit into it, because this girl right here forgot a zipper. Whatever. And then I went ahead and flipped the skirt inside out and matched up both ending sides so we can close up the skirt until we hit where we want the slit to go. Does this make sense? Do you see it right here? Okay, good. want the slit of the skirt to be high up, so we'll make sort of a triangle situation once we get to the new opening and then hem the raw fabric backward. I know it's a bit hard to follow, but envision a piece of clothing ripped at the seams and then picture how you would sew it back together. For instance, past that pin will not be sewn together. These two little separate lines will be sewn apart. Now the easiest and less threatening way to measure your waist is to grab the elastic that you're using, put it around your waist, make a little mark, make sure you leave another inch or a little half inch, and cut it. Oh, and don't forget to fill your bobbins with the color thread that you are using, kids. Now the fun and dramatically festive part to make this holiday-inspired thrift flip: sewing. I started off by sewing the waistline down an inch like we marked with our pins earlier, making sure to not close up any ends before I put my elastic band in, which comes next. The easiest trick is to take a safety pin, attach it to the end of your elastic, and push through the waist of whatever you're sewing till you get to the end. Just don't lose the other end of elastic or you'll have to dig for it, and that's just super annoying. Once your elastic is set into the waistline and properly aligned, like make sure it didn't get flipped around, you'll sew the edges of the band together at whichever extra measurement you left when you cut. Then I went ahead and cut across the bottom of the skirt, making it into a more midi length. I eyeballed it on my body, but if you want a more accurate hem, you can pin the skirt on a dress form and use chalk to mark from the floor up the length you want the skirt to be. Since we're making this a slit skirt, I didn't mind as much how even the bottom would be, since we want a more flowy effect anyway, and also, I'm lazy. Now, I was never going to make a top out of this fabric. I was going to just use a thrifted sweater, but surprise, we had so much hot pink left over, I couldn't not make a set. So we cheated once again because my bralette patterns are in my attic and I'm not battling spiders tonight, and I used a Victoria's Secret bralette as reference for sizing. Remember, if you're doing this, don't be silly and forget to add seam allowance. You need it, and a lot of it if you're going to make a dart to fit on the boobage area better. So here's the first draft of what was, I have to resew it because the top was a little bit too big and the slit was a little bit too low, but without any further ado. Now for the final reveal of what once was $2.99 per yard fabric and an old thrifted sweater that I upcycled from my closet, and yet we turned it into a viral Pinterest outfit situation. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I created, and I hope you guys kind of take into consideration that for New Year's and for the holidays, if you don't have anything to wear, don't cry about it. Don't be upset about it. I know I've thrown a lot of tantrums in the past about not having things to wear, but it is such a stupid, like, first world problem, and if you could just go in your closet and find something that you haven't worn in a really long time and cut it up, make it different, make it a two-piece set instead of a dress. There's so many things that you could do with your hands, and I'm very excited and actually very grateful that I ended up going to a fashion high school where they taught me how to sew, they taught me how to pattern make, they taught me how to do all of the things that I would never know how to do if I didn't go to that school. So I'm just feeling an overall sense of because my mom doesn't sew, my dad doesn't sew, my grandma sews, but she forgot, and she has crafted so many things, and she has given off her sewing machines to me, and it's really something special, and I really enjoy just making things out of nothing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and follow me over on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!